Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today, I'm looking at the Week 1 matchup of the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Houston Texans. This is going to be Trevor Lawrence's first start in the NFL, so it's a big game that I guess a lot is on the line, you could say. But before getting to the topic, seriously, question for those of you viewing, just a simple question. Who do you think will win this matchup, the Houston Texans or the Jacksonville Jaguars? Comment down below. But getting straight into it, addressing the elephant in the room, obviously the biggest impact of this game is not Trevor Lawrence. It's the other quarterback possibly in Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson of the Houston Texans is a top 5 quarterback in the league. So if he plays, I feel like, I don't want to say they easily won the game because he played last year and they went 4-12, but it is a game that the Jaguars have much more to worry about. If he doesn't, Texans are the worst team in the NFL. So it clearly has a huge swing on this. A lot of scouts, a lot of people in the NFL, a lot of analysts, a lot of fans, they don't expect Deshaun to play next year. They don't know how the lawsuits and all those cases are going to settle out, and they don't know if they'll settle out in just this offseason. Even if they do, is Deshaun willing to play for Houston? It's a lot to happen in just a few more months. Jaguars, I guess you could say they have their own issues with a couple of people on the team not liking the Tim Tebow signing, but that is something they could get through talking. Deshaun Watson, he's got a lot of legal issues. Looking at this Texans team without Deshaun Watson, assuming the starting quarterback would be Tyrod Taylor, I feel like he's the most like Deshaun. He's still mobile. He's still athletic. He's a veteran. He has experience. They drafted Davis Mills, I believe, in the 3rd round out of Stanford, a quarterback there. I don't think they're going to start him week 1. It's not like he's Trevor Lawrence, a generational talent that could start as a rookie. He's a 3rd-round guy that is going to be a backup. Tyrod Taylor is who I think will start against Trevor Lawrence. Texans don't have much outside of Tyrod Taylor, even if you want to call him a lot. The receiving core, I guess you have Brandon Cooks and Randall Cobb, and you have Laremy Tunsil to protect Taylor, but still, this offense is nothing to brag about. The depth chart on the backfield is actually not too bad between Mark Ingram, between Phillip Lindsay, and between David Johnson, but there's no clear-cut number 1 guy to be fearful of, and therefore I can't give it that much credit. Looking at the defense, not much to brag there. Anyways, the only thing that was holding that defense together, I guess in some way, was J.J. Watt. He was just the kind of the guy that gave that team any type of leadership, any type of spirit, any type of juice to play with. He's now gone. All they really have left is Whitney Merciless. You got Shaq Lawson and Vernon Hargraves, a former corner from the University of Florida, originally drafted to the Buccaneers. Didn't last year as a starter, so now he's bouncing around the league, and he's ended up in Houston. Again, not much on defense and not much on offense. Looking at the Jaguars, not saying they're this superb team, but I do think they have a much better identity. I think they're much more together than the Houston Texans. Looking at the Jags, they got a quarterback that they know they could work with, and they hope to work with over the next 2 decades. Trevor Lawrence, backfield, you could say they don't have a clear-cut number 1 between Carlos Hyde, James Robinson, and Travis Etienne, but there will be a dominant one at some point. Texans, you can't say the same. So quarterback and backfield, the edge already goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Receiving core, I'm going to take Laviska Shenault, Marvis Jones Jr., DJ Chark Jr., and I guess Tim Tebow. I'm not sure he'll get the starting job, but looking at the receiving core, the guaranteed starters are Chark, Jones, and Shenault. I'm going to take them over Brandon Cook and Randall Cobb. Again, not a stellar team on the Jaguars' part, but the Texans, they're the worst team in the NFL without Deshaun, so they are overpowering them in most categories. Offensive line, give it to whoever you want. I mean, I guess the Texans have more star power. They got Laremy Tunsil, and Jaguars did get a guy. They got to tackle Walker Little, so I guess they drafted a tackle there, but still, neither of them have a superb offensive line that's really going to, determine how this game goes. I think they're both not so good and not so great and not so bad that it's not going to swing the game, like I said. Looking at the defense, though, the Jaguars are more put together there on defense than the Texans are. Not by a lot, but enough to at least give them the edge. They got Josh Allen creating pass rush up front, Myles Jack kind of helping him out and captaining the whole front 7. In the secondary, you added Shaquille Griffin. You'll get C.J. Henderson back after hopefully not being banged up anymore. You drafted Tyson Campbell. This is a good Jaguars team that is finding their identity. Big question mark, I guess, is going to be, of course, Urban Meyer, but Texans got their own head coach issues in David Culley, so both are going to be dealing with new head coaches. Both are more likely going to be starting new quarterbacks. Both aren't going to have, superb star talent. This isn't a week 1 playoff preview by any means. I doubt that we're going to see this game happen again later in the season that's going to feature and determine who goes to the playoffs and wins the AFC South. If I had to bet, I don't think either of these teams are going to be a playoff team, and it's way too early to preview games like this, but I think with the schedule coming out today, it's worth talking about. With Deshaun Watson, we don't know what he's doing. It's worth talking about. With Tim Tebow, Trevor Lawrence, and Urban Meyer, the Jags, it's worth talking about. I like this Jags team a lot. Not a Jags fan, but I like what they're putting together down there in Jacksonville. They got a lot of question marks in Tebow and Travis Etienne and Trevor Lawrence and C.J. Henderson and Urban Meyer. They're putting a lot of faith in these young guys to become a franchise dynasty or a Super Bowl or a playoff team. You're going to need a lot of these rookies and younger dudes to step up, but the upside is there. It will take time. There's going to be some growing pains, but there's not a better team to work out the kinks with than the Houston Texans, because you can make plenty of mistakes and still pull out a win against them. So, of course, if it's not obvious, my prediction is that the Jacksonville Jaguars will win this game. Of course, if Deshaun Watson ends up playing, scratch this entire video, everything changes because, like I said, top 5 quarterback in the league coming back to play, things are going to change. You're going to need a different analysis and a different prediction. But based on the current rosters, I think the Jaguars are more put together. They're more hungry. They're more ready to win, and they know what they're doing. Texans, I feel like they don't have any identity. They don't know what they're doing. But week 1 matchup against a division rival, anything can happen. I mean, look at the Jaguars last year. Week 1, they beat a Colts team that eventually became a playoff team. Colts, like I said, won on the playoffs. Jaguars, they never won a single game again. They went 1-0 and then went 1-15. So if the Texans steal a game in week 1 and then they never win a game again, it's not like it's unheard of before. I do think it is possible this game could go either way just because it's week 1. Anything can happen then, and the fact that it's division rival, and the fact that both of these teams have so many new players and so many new things going for them. It's anyone's game, which I guess is an advantage and a disadvantage for both teams. But overall, if I had to bet, I'm going to go with the team with the more proven talent, or the more talent I think that is on the roster, and that is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. But as always, guys, I do want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with my takes? Do you agree that Deshaun Watson's not going to be there? And what do you think, or who do you think will win? Again, I got the Jags, and I think it'll be a close game. I could see it being 24-21, 27-21. I think it'll be probably within 1, maybe 2 scores if the Jaguars pull out a big lead, 30-20 again. I don't see it getting blown out of proportion. I think it'll be a close game and worth watching. It won't be the biggest game of the year, but enough to keep your eye on. As always, guys, drop your thoughts down below, and I appreciate you watching 2 Minute Warning.